Hello, my name is Valentin and you're watching Bots Factory. Bots Factory is a show where we build, test and release chatbots together. In previous episodes, we built chatbot from scratch with Ruby language and Heroku Cloud Platform. I hope you tried yourself at home and didn't face any problems. I put the link to the video in the description box. Today we have a challenging task. It might take an hour or two, so fasten your seatbelts. Today we are going to build a chatbot from scratch with Ruby on Rails framework, Postgres database and custom logic inside. The idea behind the bot is simple. We want to build a Telegram bot catalog, a place where you can add, remove and find information about Telegram bots. Our plan is simple. First one, we need to create an empty Rails application. Second one, we will integrate our chatbot inside this Rails application. We add logic to save users, to save bots, to remove bots, save description about bot and search by descriptions. So let's start. We begin with empty Rails application. We need to run our terminal and create a new application. I will do it in my GitHub folder. Rails new, and we will name it our bot like test bot. It takes some time to install all necessary dependencies. Cool, we are good. So we are going into our test bot and we have a Rails app inside. Let's start it to see how it works. Does it work correctly or not? Let's take this one. Cool. Our Rails app working correctly. So check. First things we finished. Next, we need to integrate our bot inside Rails app. So let's open our folder. Our test bot. We are going to integrate it inside. Let's create a new folder like Telegram and create a new file inside and find it. Let's name our file bot.rb. Inside Telegram folder. So we have a new file inside Telegram folder. Let's write new bot. First thing, we need to integrate all Rails environment inside our bot. Require all environment inside our bot. Also, we can start new terminal and test it out. Ruby Telegram bot. Okay, looks good. There is no errors inside. Next, we need to add Telegram library inside our gem file like we did in previous episode. So open gem file and add below gem Telegram bot Ruby. Run bundle install. Okay, we're good. To run new bot inside, we need to require Telegram library. So require Telegram bot. Okay, good. Now we can start writing our simple bot. Telegram bot client run token. We will set token above like token a bit later. Do bot end. Cool. For token, I will use my token from testing bot, this one. Okay, below we need to run a bot. We need to listen for new messages. And if we have a new message, let's print it out on our output. And we will exit the bot. Let's start. Okay, we didn't set up correctly token. Let's rename it. Cool, we have something inside. So our bot integration works correctly. So what's next? We need to create a new logic to create new users. But first we need to set up our database for Postgres. By default, Rails working with SQLite, and it's not so super suitable for production environment because it is a file actually. And we would like to set Postgres as a database. But first we need to create a database itself. Let's create a new database. Create a database. We will name it like testbot. Testbot dev. And exit. I have Postgres in my local machine, so let's find how do we have a new database inside. Testbot dev. Yes, we have one. So we can connect to our database. Let's do it. Let's create a new connection to Postgres. And name it dev. By default, we are going to local machine and testbot dev. Test and connect. Okay, we have empty. Next, we need to point our database, to point our Rails app to the database. Let's do it with settings. Configuration, database YAML. We need to change adapter from SQLite 3 to Postgres. To Postgres here and set correct database name. Testbot dev. Also, don't forget to change gem file and switch from SQLite to Postgres. Run bundle install and try to run your app Rails S. Correct, our app responds correctly. We have some logs inside. That means that we have an empty website based on Rails framework and it has a Postgres as a database. So we set everything. Next step for us is create a model for users. Rails framework works with objects and we need to set two different objects. First one for user and second one for bot. Let's start with user. For user, I would like to save Telegram ID and first name. That's enough for me. Let's generate new model. And call it user. And we need to have two different, actually three different fields. First one, it's name as a string. Second one, we need a Telegram ID. It is an integer. And the third one, we need next step or just simple step. I will explain later why we need this one. Right now we prepared a new migration for users. So we are going to create a new table for users with name, Telegram ID and step. Let's run our migration. And open database again, refresh, and as you can see we have a new table for users. Next we need to create the same like for bots. Let's generate Rails generate model bot with username as a string. Next we need to have description as a string. And next we need to have a reference to user, because I would like to know what user save what bot. So you will allow to delete bots only if you create it. So user reference. Okay, cool. Let's run migration. And again, oh wow, we have a problem here. Not reference, but references. And open again your database. Okay, we have table for our bots. Username, description, user ID, like reference to user, and created it, updated it. These columns created automatically for any Rails model by default. So next step, we need to point that one user has many bots, and we can set it with the model. Models, user has many bots. Not like this one, but like this one. And let's start our Rails app again. Just make sure and validate that we create our models correctly. Okay, it's fine. It's super cool. Now we are ready to fill up our logic inside. We are going for 3 different commands: to add new bot, to remove bot, and or delete, and search for bot. Let's write down our logic. So we will accept commands from message, from text from message. That means that we need to set a logic inside this block, and we need to understand what we are going to do based on text in messages. At this point, switch case statement is enough for us. Case message text, and when we have add, next we going to write for delete and search. At this point, we are ready to fill up our logic for every single case. At first step, let's just send a message that we are going to add new bot, we are going to delete bot, and we are going to search for new bot. So we are going to reply to our customer, to our user. So we already know the chat ID. It is message chat ID. And we're going to send a message like send me a bot username. And the same for delete, but choose bot let's try pick bot to delete. And for search, let's ask for a search request. Send me your request. Okay, we are ready to go. Let's run our bot. So we're ready to go. Let's run our bot. Add. Okay, it is working. Delete. Okay, working, and search. Cool. It is working right now. So next step, we would like to add a new bot to our database. But first we need to find and save data about our user. So how we can do that? We will use user model and we will save user if it doesn't exist in our database. That means that we are going to find, do we have a user in our database by Telegram ID? If user exists, user find by if not exist, we will create a new one. With Telegram ID, like message chat ID, and name. Do we have a name, right? Yes, we have a name, like message from first message from username or first name. And actually here we can set from ID. Let's run our bot again. We will stop it. So, and if we don't have, we will create a new one, and versus if we have one, we are going to find by Telegram ID. Let's run bot. And send a message, any message, it doesn't matter what do you send. Okay, we have a problem. Undefined method exists for new class. So yeah, it was, we shouldn't find, but just user exist and Telegram ID. I just forgot about that. That's enough. Let's run again. And exists. And then again. Let's send a message to our bot and open our database. Cool, we have a new user by me, so it is me. It was created right now. So next step, we are going to set a step for this user if we are going to add. And this step, we need to remember somewhere that this user are going to add a new bot or delete new bot or make a search, because on the next step after we're going to add something, we need to understand that we are waiting for bot username, for example. Let's add it here. So when we have an add, we need to set for user step add and save it. And the same for delete search actions. But Okay, cool. Let's try it out. Restart our bot and send a new message. Add. Open our database, refresh it, and we can have a step add for this particular user. Let's try delete. Refresh page. Yes, we have delete, and search. Refresh again. Search. Cool. Logic works. At this point, we need to set a new logic for every single action. That means that if we have user next step add, we are going to save this user, this text we got from user as a username. Let's do it. In case of message text, but not message text, we will switch between user different steps. So my laptop is dying, we need to charge it. So in case of add, when add, again delete and search. Add, delete, search. When we have an add, we are going to create a new bot. Bot create with username from message. And for particular user, actually, user bots, because we have a lot of bots, right? Any user can have bots. Cool. Okay, we are going to create a new bot here. Next step, I'm going to ask for a description. So as you can see, we need to add a new switch case for description. So we set like if for user next step, we are waiting for description and save it. And if we have a description, we are going to update the last user bot with this description. User bots last created user bot. Last description from message text. And we need to clean up our user next step, because we are not waiting for anything from him. Let's try this out. And of course we need to set like new bot last, new bot description, new bot save. Let's try this out. So we're going to add new bot. My to email bot. It is a real bot. You can find a video about my bot in my channel. So look at my videos. Okay. And next, we have not set a message like we are waiting for your description, but we will write down like this is a description. This is a description. Cool. Now we have to open our website database, and we have a new bot here. Everything works correctly. but we need to add a couple of messages to make sure that our user understands what we're waiting for. From here, for example, we will stop the bot and add send me bot description. And again, when we save everything, we are going to send a message, thank you, I saved everything. Thank you. I saved your bot. Let's add another one and check that all messages were sent. Let's add my track bot. So we got a new message, send me a bot description. For example, I'm tracking your activity. Cool. Let's open our database and we have a new one. Everything works correctly. So right now we need to add a new logic for delete step. If we're going to delete our bot, I would think that we need to allow people delete bot they created before. So we not allow people to delete different random bots from our database. So that means that if we're going to delete a bot, I need to ask, I ask to pick a bot to delete. That means that we need to send a menu with all bots user created before. We need to get all bots which were created by this particular user. How we can do that? User bots map ubot, for example. It is a variable, it doesn't matter how you name it. And we need to collect all bots usernames to an array and set it as a keyboard. Ubot next username and set it as a keyboard. So we are going to create a new keyboard with command reply keyboard markup, and here we need to set it reply mark up markup. Let's try this out. We need to restart our bot and type delete. Pick a bot to delete. So it doesn't work. It was different keyword reply markup and restart bot again. So delete. Cool. We have a keyboard with different bot this user particularly created. So next step, we are going to wait what bot we are going to delete, and we need to check that do we have this bot on username for this particular user. So first we need to check bot username con include message text. If we have bot in our database, we are going to delete it. So bot find by username message text destroy. And else we need to send a message like we can't find your bot. And here we need to send a message like, all good, we destroy your bot. And also we need to clean up next step for this user. So let's try it out. We add new logic. Great. So delete to email bot. All good, we destroy your bot. Let's open our database, refresh, and yeah, we don't have this bot. But if, for example, we send it right now, delete, and we don't have to email bot, and if we try to send it, we can't find this bot in our database. So everything is good. The last step, we're going to integrate our search method inside, and we're going to search by substring on all descriptions. How we can do that? So let's first add bot again to make a search. And description, I forward all messages to email. Cool. Let's update database. Yes, we have new bot. Let's search it. We need to do it here. So we need to make a search in our database and try to find something meaningful for this particular request. How we can do that? So first we need to find something in our database for bots. We have specific query which helps you to find anything inside strings. Description like message text. It will be an array of bots. And we are going to reply every single message for particular bots. So if we have bots, so that means that size of the array it's not S0. If it's not 0, we need to send message for every single bot. Do not bot, but let's try sbot, like search bot. We like, for example, bot username and description. Why it's so noisy, my laptop? So, and here we need to send like search results. So if we have some bots, else we need to send a message like we can't find anything. Sorry, we can't find your bot. We can't find a bot for you. And also we need to clean up our next step here. Okay, let's restart our bot and try search option. Send me your request. Let's send email. Search. So we find one bot. To email bot that forwards all messages to email. We find it because our request found that For email bot, we have email inside description. If we send a request, for example, for track, let's send a search, discard track, we find my track bot. If we search for like something simple for I, we find two different bots. That's it. As you can see, today we create a new Telegram bot which helps you to save data about bots. We can edit, delete and search for it. And also we're smart enough and don't delete a bot which not associate with particular user. I hope you like this video and make sure that you subscribe to my channel, like this button, and see you next week. Ciao! We just created a bot. Yeah, cool. That is really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed a lot.